Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for this opportunity, professors. So today I'm going to talk about a topic of one solution to ethnic strife, which is economic development. So I'm trying to look at economic development. What is it? Why we need it? And how shall we go about it? And then how can we have this leading to peace? So first, let's ask ourselves that, okay, what is economic development? You see that any region that is under conflict, like say the southern Thailand, Kashmir, in India, and you also have Pakistan. These countries, these regions which are in conflict, they not only peacekeeping forces are like fighting insurgency there, PKO and United Nations, but at the same time, the government needs to take initiative and develop these economic policies that help these people towards peace. So the government has a responsibility to open up its trade, to have a policy that gives every individual a chance to earn his living, to earn his income. So how does this happen? Let's look at the example of OTOP. It's called One Tambun One product, which is in southern Thailand. As you know, southern Thailand is the areas of Hatiai and Yala. They are the regions where Islamic extremists have been asking for independence for a long time. So in this region, Thaksin Shinawatra, the Prime Minister then, he came up with this plan, OTOP, where every village will have one product. And this model of one village, one product is taken from Isong Ipen Undo, which is from Oita. And this Oita's mayor at that time, his name was Hiramatsu-san. He developed this model where one village will have one product, and they will market this product, and so that every village has its own trademark. And with this model was copied, this Oita model was copied by Thaksin Shinawatra, and they developed this OTOP, which is one district, one product. And with this, they achieved amazing results. In southern Thailand, in the districts of Yala, the OTOP became so popular that when I met an Australian friend, she said to me that, I see OTOP, I think that's an Australian company. Oh no, it's not an Australian company, it's a government of Thailand initiative. So you see that the products of OTOP were so widespread in Australia and Europe that people thought that, oh, it's an Australian company. So, so you see that what happens when somebody has a good economic policy idea like OTOP. So every individual in the village finds an income, they find an earning, and they find themselves to be a part of the economic development which the country is going through. So they feel a part of it. As a result, ethnic minorities and ethnic violence stops. So, and the country goes towards economic development. Why we need this? To answer this question of why do we need economic development, let's look at Japan's model. Japan's Gini coefficient, which is the measure of the income distribution, is at the moment running at 0.3, which is very, very low compared to Mexico, Brazil, which is very high at 0.6. So this shows that Japan has a very, very high level of income distribution. Everybody earns almost the same level of money. So this creates equality amongst the people. So as the country develops with economic development, they have a higher Gini coefficient. It means that everybody is earning the same money. It renders inclusive growth. Everybody has a chance to grow. So this inclusive growth, it means every section of the community, every ethnic section of the community has a chance to grow. And this inclusive growth is a very, very difficult task which has been able to be attained by countries like Japan and Sweden and Norway. This is the aim of conflict regions like Laos, Cambodia, all these countries. So it gives me really immense pleasure to see that Japan is investing in providing economic support, in providing financial support, and most of all in providing technology transfer to these countries like conflict countries like Pakistan, Laos, Cambodia, and also the northeast of India. They are able to provide this technology so that the country is able to come out of its ethnic conflicts, of basic conflicts, and rise to an economic power and rise economically. So government of Japan initiatives, as I already mentioned, was one village, one product. And the next question that we come across when we follow the flow, is like how. How can countries do it? So one of the, now, there are many ways how a country can do it. But one of the ways could be MDBs, multilateral development banks, like Asian Development Bank, Inter-American Development Bank, World Bank. But World Bank became a development bank much later. But in 1966 was the Asian Development Bank, which started and had a primary motive of development of Asian nations. They did not care about, they were non-governmental, non-profit. They did not care about profit making. They cared about development of the country. So Asian Development Bank, truly in the sense, was able to do this by great donors, like rich countries like South Korea and Japan and China. Rich countries give money to ADB, and ADB is able to trickle the money down to these people, to the really needy people in projects who want it. So they have made road constructions and developments in Kashmir, road constructions and development in Laos, Cambodia, in the northeast of India, in all the conflict regions. They have been able to provide lots of anti-poverty projects in Bangladesh. So not only does ADB provide the money for the project, but at the same time, ADB is able to monitor them, because if you don't monitor it, it goes into the wrong hands. The money doesn't go back to the people; it starts going back to the hands of the mafia and stuff. But ADB not only provides the money, but later ADB monitors the project for maybe 2 or 3 years after it starts running, and then hands it over to the government of the country. So, so we see that this kind of how we. So today in my talk we saw what is economic development, why we need it, and how it may be possible. One, as I told you, multilateral development banks were made for this reason. So in this, we see a full cycle. We see that there is a full circle here. We cannot wait for peace to come and then govern policies. First, we have to apply the government policies, and then peace will come. Because it's already too late now. You see China last year in 2009, it joined the Inter-American Development Bank as a lender, not as a borrower. So you see China is so strong, and then South Korea is already, in 20 years of time, it reached such high level of Gini coefficient. So there is no time wasting for countries like Laos and Northeast region or Pakistan. There is no time for them to wait for peace and then economic development. The world is running too fast. It's time to apply the right policy, to apply with the help of government, non-governmental agencies, and then lead towards peace. That's the full circle that I'm talking about. And yeah, so the basic argument here to support my theory is the one village, one product, which is an idea from OITA, and how this can be spread all around the world, and how good economic ideas can lead towards peace. That's the full circle I talked about today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sarma. I would like to ask Ms. Manjuma to